Are we live?
We're live.
Hi, my name is John Biddle.
Hi, my name is Sam Biddle and
Welcome to our podcast.
I hate this book
Chapter 34.
of The Harvester.
And we're nearly done.
We are nearly done.
How does that feel?
It feels good. I think I expected more blood and gore and... What are you looking over there for?
I'm listening to what you're saying.
I expected more blood and gore and more... The dog's tail keeps wagging. Look. You could see in the video. What are you seeing is this little radar.
He needs to settle.
He does. Maybe we should...
He'll settle in a minute.
He's eyeing up his bed over there.
He can just stand still like a donkey.
He does actually. He stands still like it. We talked about the dog last time. We can't talk about the dog again. There are some non-dog owners.
Listen, stop.
What?
Nano is edited.
Finally. Did you send it off?
I'm sending it off tomorrow.
Gosh, did you get in touch with them?
Yeah.
And they said?
Yeah, brilliant. Well, she's not going to be able to do it till the 12th of April.
You were kidding. Are you kidding me?
No, she's very busy.
It doesn't matter, you've done it.
It's done.
Did you tell her to book her for the 2 books? Because you'll have the other one booked.
I said the other book will be ready. When you finish that, there's another one to do. She says, oh, goody.
Is she English or American?
She's English. She's in Blackburn.
Oh.
So, you know, it will take her 3 to 4 weeks to finish it. So we're looking at a release in May.
Well, hold on. So she'll edit and that's it, no more edits?
No, we're done.
Okay, I thought you had to then read through it.
I'm not, yeah,
which is
well,
always
you
never do that. You like it's probably the worst part of you writing a book is this process.
Yeah, no, I don't mind. It's the first edit I hate doing that, you know, because it's like you've painted and you've got to tidy up.
I like it. So, I love that, washing the brushes.
No,
it's my favourite part of painting.
I don't enjoy it. So when she's done her edit, I quite like that because it's like, wow, this is actually now amazing.
Yeah, I didn't write this at all.
No. So it's done. It's a huge weight off my mind actually.
I do believe if we were to rewind a few chapters, I said this.
I know you did.
Like I said, this is it. This would be, you know, a release of some kind.
Yeah, I do remember.
And at what point in the 30 years that we've been married did you stop listening to me?
I do remember. But, you know, I don't know why there was such a thing, you know, to not do it, I guess.
No, I don't know either, babe. But
maybe,
you did it. I'm proud of you.
Maybe it's just was the right time. What do you think?
Yeah.
It's done. So, yeah.
That's it. Oh, we've had Valentine's Day since our last episode.
Which is why we didn't record this book. It's actually Friday afternoon, which is a bit discombobulated.
Actually, thinking about it, you guys will have way past Valentine's. I don't know. We shouldn't actually do a date.
This is coming out Monday the 22nd.
Okay. So, happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Yay.
We did...
Happy Shrove Tuesday for the Christians amongst us.
We... Pancake Day for the non-Christians. How did Pancake Day and Shrove Tuesday get to be the same thing?
I'll tell you. Do you want me to tell you?
I do. You're always full of... Not that we had pancakes. Just like a little bone of contention. But happy to have them late over the weekend. They'll probably be half the price. Like Easter.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Because we've got food. Anyway, did you want to know the differential? So the whole point of Pancake Day is the start of Shrove Tuesday. So this is the time where you abstain
from
whatever. Chocolate normally, a lot of people abstain from chocolate.
What, it's now?
Yeah, because it's now 40 days till Christmas, till Easter. It's 40 days till Easter.
Oh, I didn't realise this was the start
of
it.
So the idea of pancakes is to put
gorge.
all of your shit that you have in the cupboards in a frying pan, you eat it all. So it's none's left. So none are left, and that is the basis of.
So you have to starve for 40 days.
No, you don't starve. You abstain from your favourite foods that. Because this is where Jesus went off to the mountain and sat there 40 days, 40 nights.
What are you going to abstain
I'm not, because I'm not religious. I think it's a load of bollocks.
I think I'm going to abstain from sex. Okay, not sex then.
How about you can flip it on its head and say, I'm going to drink more water.
I'm going to abstain from water.
Huh?
I'm going to abstain from water.
You mustn't.
I mustn't?
No, because you've been having some issues, haven't you?
What do you mean a bit? Don't tell them all.
Well, with your
my heart.
Your heart and your, you know. We think it's a B12 deficiency, don't we?
We do, yes, and because we have some medical knowledge, more so than the GPs, it seems, because they forgot to test me for B12. And considering I've had a B12 deficiency in the past, you'd think the symptoms stack up, but no, we don't know a thing.
You think, wouldn't you?
You would. So B12 or cardio.
Cardiac.
Cardiac.
The cardiac might mean you have to do more cardio.
Maybe. I hope not.
I don't think it's your heart.
I don't think it's
your
my
heart's
heart.
so big.
Yeah, my heart's so full.
Exactly. So, you know, maybe. Oh, I've just got it.
What?
And each time you have a palpitation when you see me.
That's so true.
You come in the kitchen, you go, oh my God, I've got palpitations.
I mean, you could flip that on its head and go, it's stressful when I see
seeing
you.
Me? You're certainly stressful after I've cooked dinner.
Well, because you just leave the whole kitchen. I don't understand why you don't wash up as you go. I know that this is an argument that I alone I'm not a lone voice in this.
No.
But why you can't put the dish either in the dishwasher or even in the sink. I don't mind it even being in the sink, but leaving it out.
You know, I'm happy to cook, and I'm also happy to wash up.
Yes, well, you have to, because you make such a mess. If you didn't make a mess, then I would wash up.
Well, it's just irrelevant anyway.
But thank you for cooking.
That's okay.
You only cook one every other week.
I know.
I ain't cook the other time. And guess what I do?
Well,
I put the stuff in the dishwasher as soon as I finish with it.
I do tidy the kitchen, and then you go in and tidy it, and I think, what the hell have you done?
Yeah.
I just don't see things.
It's a magic wand.
I must be.
I'm magic.
I don't see things.
Woot.
I just don't see them.
No, I know.
So anyway, where are we with the book?
Okay, part of this B12 deficiency is a memory issue.
Okay.
So, one, don't know words, can't remember for shit, and can't retain any concentration. Is that the word? No. I'm a bit scatty. Maybe all those people in the world that are a little bit scatty should take some more vitamin B12. In America, did you know that you can just carry around B12 jabs?
Oh yeah, I'm kind of not sure that's allowed.
Well, I saw it on Real Housewives. She just came in with her injection, said, "Hey, would you jab me in the bottom? I need some B12, and that means I'm going to have a party tonight." I don't
think you can go to the drive-in CVS and say, "Can I have a B12 jab in my bum?"
I bet you can buy them.
Maybe.
I think so. I
still think you need a prescription. I think that's
pretty.
It's not pretty awesome.
Oh,
that's why in America every advert's pharmaceutical because of that.
But I mean, it is pretty awesome, really.
When you go to drive-in CVS's, it was drive-in pharmacies.
Yeah.
That's absolutely nuts.
It's crazily good.
And they're open 24 hours.
It's handy. Do you know what though? I would shop in a CVS. I would spend hours in there. Every time I go to America,
it's like an old-fashioned. It's like an old-fashioned pharmacy you used to go in with your nan.
Yeah, but it's got all of the
rectal creams.
Well, that's not why I was going in there, but it would like the minerals and the vitamins, and I could spend hours in there, and then I get the Mars bars,
little bags, little containers.
Not in CVS.
Yes.
No,
that CVS in Atlanta we went in last year, it was like 4 floors. It even had a library on the top floor of it. It's like, what the fuck is this? It's just a pharmacy. No. I need to go into a pharmacy, be shouted at by the pharmacy assistant, and stand in a queue for 4 hours.
No. Yes, no. I always used to go with. People used to go to America with half a suitcase. I used to go with half a suitcase. One, because I'd have to bring the other half back with
food.
No, I'd go with food to give to all my American friends.
Yeah, because they like our food.
And then I would bring all of those vitamins and minerals back, and all the oily and nail stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. I'd recycle my clothes and wash my knickers. I was always so worried I'd be overweight, and I always was on the way back with my suitcase. That is. I mean, I personally was always overweight. I wasn't that worried about it.
Especially coming back from America.
Oh, God. Yeah, pancakes for breakfast. I used to come back with IBS. Serious IBS. Because you just like, whilst I'm in America, I'll just have a pancake. Whilst I'm in America, I'll have a waffle. And then lunches were just a
do you remember those waffles in Chicago?
Yes. They had... Oh my God, all the bacon. Oh, it was so
And they said, do you want maple syrup on that? And I said, well, I'll have a squirt. And she literally ladled it on.
It's amazing. They know how to eat. But you walk, when you walk around with that mouthful of aspartame and a layer of fat in your mouth and sugar, you've got that, and you can taste it. And there's not one bit of food that's fresh unless you hit California.
Yeah, it's different.
And then in California,
everything's fresh.
The salads are to die for.
But that's like before you catch a boat in Portsmouth in the south of England, and it stinks of chips and vinegar, and then your boat lands in France, and then it smells of it's a completely different world.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I was getting the correlation. Like northern France is as shit as the south of England.
Yeah, it's just England.
It's when you hit like the south of France,
and you just smell of croissants and
the bakeries bread. And the coffee,
cheese.
Yeah.
I think I do enjoy the food when I hit America, but I don't enjoy the fact that it's so unhealthy. And so huge. I would have to order. I would order starters.
Yeah.
Just as a main course, because that's what the size was.
Yeah, that's right.
What are you pressing buttons? Why are you pressing buttons?
Nothing. It's all right. Don't worry.
Press buttons, for God's sake.
I remember that place we went to. I will never forget it. It was Star City. It was called. It was one of these little farming places. We went with.
Yes.
I've forgotten her name now.
Yes.
And Rick.
Yes.
And it was a steakhouse. And they deep fried the rolls to have with the steak.
Oh, yes.
And they said, do you want fries with your steak? And I was like, yeah, for sure. And they said, would you like a bowl of pasta as well? And it's like, not really.
No, do you remember that other place you went to and you had this huge, I don't know if it was a steak or I can't remember what it was, but it was massive. Again, we were with Rick. And it was in this like little, it was like a bar kind of place.
I can't remember.
Quite dark and dingy. It was huge. You couldn't finish it.
Was that the pizza? Fed us for 3 days. It was like a quiche. It wasn't a pizza. It was quiche.
No, that was Chicago.
Are you not confusing with those ribs I had in Dubai?
No. See, everywhere we go, it's food. Our memories are related to food. That's sad.
Why? Because when you travel, one of the things you do is you travel to experience the food as well as the culture.
Well, I'm not sure everybody does that.
I know I do.
Yes, I know. That's
I don't think I don't think I'm unusual. I think it's standard. What do you think, everybody out there?
Yes, let us know. I do think that sometimes we maybe focus too much on where we're going to eat and food.
Maybe. But I think it's quite important that we find where, because you never know, it could be your last meal.
Could be.
Because we're in a different country.
Well, in Dubai, it nearly was our last meal. We nearly
died, didn't we?
Yeah.
We nearly died a number of times. It wasn't just one isolated moment. We nearly got hit by a missile and the plane.
Yeah.
Then we nearly got flooded to death. And then COVID started.
No, we nearly got kidnapped in Turkey because we got lost.
Oh, that was a bit weird, wasn't it?
Yeah. We were around the houses and the bus. It was just the four of us. We were like, oh my gosh.
I was getting a bit jittery.
Yep. We had all the luggage.
Of everybody's luggage, didn't we?
Yep.
You were literally sat on a suitcase.
I was.
And that other lady, a German lady, was sprawled out on a couple of suitcases as well. I was thinking, it was like a scene from like Charlton Heston, you know, when he went to Iran and to take the Americans back. I felt like we were being like kidnapped by these people.
So cold.
We would end up on the Turkish border in Syria and end up in orange boiler suits.
Do you know what? We've had some really cool adventures. Like just travelling from where we were in Jumeirah Beach to Dubai itself.
No, that was Ras Al Khaimah.
To get through the floods. The floods in Dubai, hello.
I know, that was weird.
So
biblical.
And it was. I mean, all the roads are made on sand. So once the water, like, we didn't even know. It was, you know, when you see those big sinkholes, it was like that.
Well, the dude was saying that he said that all the drains on the highway get blocked with sand over the summer. So when it rains, just a little bit of rain, it causes a flash flood. But this wasn't a little bit of rain, it was 7 days of rain in Dubai. We were in Dubai for 8 days.
I've got that video of this particular trip, so will you be able to link it to this podcast? So that particular trip, do you remember that video that I made? So link that video to of our little trip in Dubai. Or actually, it was our adventures because we
narrowly escaped being shot out of the sky.
Yeah. In Iran, we had the Iran, and then of course this was all pre-COVID, so we were travelling back and forth back to America whilst COVID was happening. We didn't know it, otherwise we wouldn't have gone.
No, we did.
I didn't know it.
But it wasn't like...
I was just like, why are they wearing masks? Like, why would you... That's just a little bit overkill.
At the flight to America, no one was wearing a mask. With the flight back to the UK, there was 4 people not wearing a mask, and we were 2 of them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, everybody was wearing a mask.
I didn't notice that.
Everybody was wearing a mask. Everybody. We were sat in the airport.
Yeah, and I saw that.
We were probably the only people in that concourse not wearing a mask.
No, because remember there was those huge delays, and then there was that guy, English guy, coughing his guts up. Do you remember? And we were like, God, he could have COVID, you know.
We were I was convinced he had it. Getting on our plane,
but we didn't get it, so we were fine.
Well, I think I did, because it was a week later I went sick.
I am absolutely certain.
I reckon you should be tested, because I think you have the cure in your veins.
I think I've got the cure in my veins. Absolutely.
I think you have haven't got the vaccine, you have the inoculation that will be given to the world.
Yes, it's a missed opportunity, everybody. I'd give it away for free.
No, you won't.
Why not?
Because we'll dine out on that one.
Okay. I don't know how.
Well, it's replicated, isn't it? So all they need is one little bit. And
I'm imagining I'm just lying there.
What, so they're just taking you're like a blood farm forevermore.
You produce more blood. Listen,
yeah, but that takes a while.
Vitamin B12 deficiency, brain not in use.
I think we'll replicate. We'll just take one test tube and they'll replicate it.
Well,
we'll trademark it.
The Biddle vaccine. No, the Biddle booster.
Blood.
The Biddle booster.
No, Biddle's blood.
Biddle's blood.
And then in 2,000 years' time, that'll almost be a biblical story.
How
the Third Testament in the Bible.
that
Called Biddle's blood.
I thought we weren't religious.
We're not, but somebody in 2,000 years' time is going to turn this into some sort of religious.
See,
so
this is why
listen,
you're
this is
that's like way beyond.
I read something the other day. It's like Jesus cured a leprosy, and I have to go and I have to find it. It's amazing.
This is why you're the author. I'm just the lonely artist. So you give me colour and I can make something pretty. But my God, I just couldn't even come up with half this story. Go on then.
So I saw that this flashed through my social media feed. So Jesus allegedly healed 10 men with leprosy, which is celebrated by believers as a miracle of God from the millennium. For years we've believed this. Yet Jacinto COVID, not COVID, did something even more impressive when he developed a vaccine for leprosy and saved thousands of lives and prevented people from getting the disease at all. I don't see him blowing his own trumpet about that, can you?
I've never heard of him.
No, me.
Right. So obviously Jacinto COVID is no longer around, but it would be really handy if he could.
I think he needs a statue. We stick statues up of people that stuck black people in chains and stuff.
Yeah.
This is a dude that saved millions of lives.
Yeah. He's not even in the history books.
I've never heard of him.
Well, yeah, but who was the guy? Okay, so who was the guy that came up with the antibiotic?
Louis Pasteur.
Ah, there you go. I was testing you. I did know.
Did you?
Because we learned that one at school.
Do you know what it was called?
The pastor. Your battery's low.
Yes, I was. But it's Kindle, it'll be fine. Don't worry.
That's not Kindle.
No, but the app is Kindle, so it'll be okay.
Okay.
We can stop, cut, and then just plug in, and we're good to go.
Just trying to think if I've got a cable here.
No, you haven't.
Okay.
But anyway.
Yes.
Chapter 34 of The Harvester.
Okay, so where were we?
So
I'd almost forgotten we were doing that.
je-Yeon had raided the police station. She's killed Squib.
Oh my gosh.
The police station is there's a bloodbath.
Burning.
It's burning outside. Nobody knows it's gone on because it was such a good diversion.
Yes, that was a good chapter.
je-Yeon's gone through the back door and
hopped
slain
on her
everybody,
little motorbike,
sorted it all out, and then so Ricky and Alex are now going back to the police station because obviously the shit's hit the fan. They don't know yet. No, absolutely, they don't know yet, and it's all going to become apparent now that this has all gone Pete Tong for them.
Remind me when we're done, just to trim your eyebrows. I can't cope with them anymore. Sorry, but seriously, they are just even they're tickling the TV.
They're not.
They're look. The viewers are getting a little bit ticklish now.
I don't think they are.
They are. Look, they're just look how long it is. Look, can you
Seriously?
feel it? They're here. Just go zoom in. Zoom in now.
They're not that big.
The other way. Look at that. Ooh, that's not even the long one. The long one's on this side. So long, babe. You need to sort those out. I need to sort those out. That's my job. I like it.
Should we get on with it?
Let's do it before your battery runs out.
Yeah, let's do it. Right, so this is chapter 34
of
the
Smoky.
Harvester.
Okay.
So the police had closed both ends of Eric Street and the east side of Wraxall Road to allow the fire brigade to contain the fire. The oxidising agent wasn't showing any chance of abating. The plastic window frames were slowly buckling on the building, and the firemen trying hopelessly to keep the building cool. Ricky had made it out the building with his tablet and phone. The phones were dead, which was odd. There was a good signal where they were, usually. Ricky went up to the duty desk sergeant, now acting as an incident control commander. He was busy directing his constables, dealing with the injured and the fatalities that littered the sidewalk, caught in the initial blast of the van. Sarge. Ricky was trying to get his attention. Sarge. The desk sergeant clocked him. You all right, Ricky? He said. Yeah, a bit weird. I've no phone signal. Not the time to discuss your love life, Ricky. Bit busy here, mate. I get that, Sarge. Trying to get my girl on the blower. Blower means phone.
I know.
To American people, they don't know what a blower is. When you're speaking on the blower, you're speaking on the phone.
I do, yes. I've forgotten that you were writing that, actually. I just like, oh my god, this video. I just, oh, okay.
Amazing.
I'm here.
I take that as a compliment. Anyway, here we go. No idea. We haven't got radio signal. The constables on Eric Street say they have contact with HQ, but the street is dead. Watch commander said it's because of the fire. Yeah, send the ambulance crew to the top of the street. He was interrupted by a paramedic. Really, the fire? Ricky wasn't convinced. Can I go to the rear of the station? To the parking lot? I've got another phone in my car. Take PC Stan with you. Don't go alone. The building is safe to the rear. It's just the front we have to watch. Stan, make sure this guy doesn't enter the building. If he does, double back to me and inform me, okay? Stan nodded. Both Ricky and Stan headed towards the rear. They turned the corner. Ricky pulled his swipe card out, swiped through the key-coded entry system, and the gate creaked. Then the lubricated mechanism kicked in and drew the gate back. Ricky headed for his car. Stan veered off and stopped and saw what Stan was looking at. Hold on there, mate, Ricky said. Stan pulled his extendable baton out, flicked his wrist to extend the weapon. Ricky walked over to him. What's up? Stan nodded to the door. The security door is open. Ricky didn't see any issue. It's probably hot in there. There's a massive fire out the front, Ricky said. I'm not sure. I'm sure there.
Not sure there.
I'm not sure there.
No, wait.
Not sure there. I worked custody. That door has to remain closed at all times. No excuses. And I know Sergeant Daniels, ex-army nutter. You kind of do as you're told. Okay, Ricky said. He walked up the steps along the walkway and opened the door. Target 1's feet was the first thing that Ricky saw. Fuck, get the medics now, Ricky shouted. Ricky turned. Stan was frozen. Now! Ricky entered the small security corridor, felt the carotid, nothing. The body still warm. 3 feet from the target was target 2. Same grouping in the chest, 2 rounds.
Oh, so hold on. Ricky, did you hear that?
What?
Ricky wouldn't call them targets, he'd call them victims.
Okay. But he didn't call them targets, did he?
You called them targets.
I called them targets, yeah. Because they all look like targets. They're a lot on the floor.
Yeah, but she called them targets.
Okay.
But would Ricky then refer to them as...
He'd probably refer to them by name. Because he knows most of them. But I've referred to them as targets because they look like fallen targets.
Okay.
So,
no, I'm just. It wasn't a criticism.
If it was one person, I would say victim, probably. If you're, analysing that, I would say targets if there was groups of people, because they would look like fallen targets.
Okay.
Maybe that's an army thing. I don't know.
Maybe. I wouldn't. I don't know what a fallen target looks like.
Okay. All the carotids were pulseless. Was all in the neck. The door to the suite ajar. Target 4's feet was being repeatedly battered by the door that was trying to close. Pulseless. Ricky stared at the chaotic scene in the suite. Clotted blood on the floor pooled around the bodies. Blood spray and spatter all over the walls. The empty brass cases littered the floor like confetti, trapped in the globules of blood. He counted 12. He spotted an MP5 on the floor. He ran to it, picked it up and pulled the magazine off, fully bombed up. He pulled the cocking needle back.
Fully bombed up?
Yeah, so it was full of ammunition. Picked it up and pulled the magazine off, fully bombed up. He pulled the cocking lever back, no round in the chamber. Fuck, they didn't even get a chance to make ready. So the gun wasn't made ready. So somebody's come in, a group of people maybe have come in, started shooting, and one of the guys that was armed in the back, it didn't even manage to retaliate. His gun was safe.
Right.
He made the carbine ready, forward assist in the cocking lever, and he felt instantly safer with a round in the spout. He took the safety off, put the gun in the shoulder at the ready, and took the slack up off the trigger. It wouldn't have far to travel if he had to send rounds down the 2-way range. Crouched, old habits die hard, he thought. Eyes on stalks, barely giving time to blink.
Did you hear that?
What's that?
What? That was Bertie.
Why? What did he do?
Was that you that did that?
I didn't do anything.
He just had a little fart.
I didn't hear that.
Okay, did you smell it?
I can't smell it either.
Mm-hmm.
I thought all I heard was his tail swishing against the heater.
It just went
radiator.
Meow.
I didn't hear that. No.
Okay,
anyway,
that was his tail.
Ready?
Yeah. Sorry.
The adrenaline was caught.
No, wait. Okay.
Oh, he's excited now.
On your bed. Bed, bed, bed. Go to bed. Okay.
The adrenaline was coursing through his veins and pouring sweat down his face. The taste of shampoo was in his mouth from the sweat running down from his head. He was looking for some movement while keeping the check of the doorways. The prisoners were banging on the door. He waited until support came. If the team that cleared this custody suite were there, he needed his back to the wall to gain as much of an advantage as possible. The door to Ricky that had come through swung open. Friendly, friendly, Ricky shouted. Put the gun down, came the reply. He did, and instantly lay on the floor. The team commander came through. I recognise you as Ricky Lambert. On your feet, Ricky, sit rep me now. Ricky stood. He realised that he was soaked in sweat and some blood from the floor. The team commander crouched on one knee. Check the rooms, clear the suite, weapons free. That means if you see anybody that's armed, you shoot them.
Oh, really?
What happened, Ricky? He looked at Ricky's chest. Ricky looked down. Shit, no, I'm not here. I just laid on the ground there. The commander followed his hand, the outline of his body, and some blood spatter. I literally came in. The door was open. Fuck. Ricky was trying to compose himself. Take a breath, mate. They were all our friends. We mourn them when we're clear. He got up. Stay here. I'll be back. The voices from the recesses, rooms and offices repeated clear. Every inch was checked for any insurgency. Ricky saw the bench against the wall. He went and sat, just staring at the carnage in the room. The carnage.
Carnage?
What seemed like an eternity, people coming and going about their business. Ricky. He heard his name again. Ricky. He snapped out the trance he was in and saw Alex and Renton standing in front of him. Alex crouched and grabbed his hands. They were shaking, sweat still pouring out of his body. Get me that water bottle. Get me that bottle of water, Renton, Alex said. He spun and grabbed it from the table. He passed it to her. She held it to his mouth. Take a sip, Ricky. He complied and took a gulp. It's not Iraq, Ricky. Her free hand cupped the side of his face. Look at me, Ricky. Look at me. He looked and the tears tumbled out of his eyes. He drew in a breath as though it was his first drag of air in an hour, and he sobbed. He cried so openly and honestly, his shoulders heaving up and down as his emotions racked his core with the memories. Alex turned to Renton. Ricky was QRF commander at the Majar al-Kabir near Basra, where we lost 6 of our own. That was a military police operation that went very wrong and 6 of them were killed. It was a true event. Where we lost 6 of our own. He was the first on the scene. He rubbed his head on her soft belly.
What?
Oh, don't know why I wrote that.
She rubbed his head.
Like that.
What was that?
I don't know.
Oh,
he rubbed his head on her soft.
No, she rubbed.
So it's like that. So
she rubbed his head.
So she's rubbing his head, not using his head to rub her belly.
Oh my God, we've woken up Bertie again. So hold on. So
he's there. His head's there.
Why is he there? That's a bit inappropriate.
No, they're really close friends. Really close friends.
Okay, all right. But say you're upset. When you've ever been upset, have I ever put your head on my belly?
I know. It sounds a bit odd. But what can I do?
Do you want that to happen?
I can't change that then.
Do you want that to happen?
No, not necessarily.
Is that like subliminal?
No, I don't need that in my life.
Be cradled on my soft belly.
Absolutely not.
Because mine is a soft belly.
Absolutely not.
It's not firm and hard. You'd think she'd have a bit of a 6-pack going on.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that. I'm just going to move on. I followed up on the job. Took a while to get to them as the contact lasted more than 2 hours. Renton struggled to fathom the flashback. He saw some guys in the custody office. He walked over. The TV monitor was playing the scene. Playing the scene. Renton walked in. Guys, can we play that back?
He looked up on one of the guys stopped and hit play. They looked up. One of the guys stopped the play and hit replay. They saw one lone gunner enter the custody suite and systematically slaughter everyone in the room. The team commander from the armed response, clearly ex-military. This chick knows her shit. She's got good blasters and those pistols are off the hook. See, he's clocked the pistols. He likes what she's got, her weapons. Renton, not military minded at all. What do you mean, guns? Gun's a gun, right?
Yeah. Did I say that last week?
You did. The creak of body armour and the scraping of feet with all the eyes looking at him. Dude, look, she's got an IMI Galil snub-nose assault rifle that's been suppressed. Gold standard Israeli gat. He held up the pencil with the spent bullet case inserted in it. She has a 7.62 conversion, which is very unusual. This gat is a destroyer. It puts a hole in you like a tennis ball if it hits bone. And if you're lucky, it will just smash through. If you're unlucky, it will track the bone and come out some other part of your body. The pistols are Chinese CF98s made with a polymer carbon body virtually undetectable. That's why they're favoured by assassins. They can travel through airports with them.
Why do they make them like that?
They're made of porcelain.
But why would they? That's a bit stupid.
For that reason, so they can be hidden.
They should be illegal.
They are illegal. Very illegal. Even in America, you couldn't buy one.
Couldn't you?
No. But that's not the reason I suspect this bird's using them. Redden watched the screen, the police officers dropping like flies. What would the reason be, he asked. These pistols have a unique magazine delivery system. It's dual fed, which means the gun will never jam. These pistols have a unique magazine delivery system. It is dual fed, which means it won't ever jam. Guns I would use if I couldn't grab a Sig Sauer. One of the gunners high-fived the commander. Roger that, boss, one of my faves.
Did you enjoy writing this bit?
Yeah, did you? Also, the gun has a small travelling trigger. Do you know what that means? A small travelling trigger?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
It means that it's constantly moving. To try.
So you have a trigger coming down, yeah?
Yes.
And your finger goes around it.
Yeah.
And your trigger is now like that.
Yeah.
So what they call a short travelling trigger is that you have what they call trigger slack. So when you pull your trigger back, it does nothing, and then you hit what they call the trigger gate.
Yes, I know this.
So
because I've shot a gun before.
So from that travel to the gate to then actually operating the weapon, that's a very, very short travel. So on a lot of weapons, pistols particularly, that action can be as much as 2 inches.
2 inches?
Yeah. So if you go, so your gun is around there from that. Yeah, it's true. Babes,
2 inches?
I instruct on weapons. So if you're like here, so your gun's inside the trigger, you've got to come back to there.
Gosh.
So if you imagine the time it takes to pull your finger back 2 inches, with a gun like this, you've got, you can get 2 or 3 rounds off before you get 1 round off with a Glock or a Browning.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a bit weapon anorak.
Lovely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you this lost on you?
No, I've shot a gun before.
When did you shoot a gun?
I've shot a 2-2.
When did you do that?
In Cyprus.
Well, do you mean a 2-2? But what weapon
Rifle
was it?
2-2 on the 2-2 range. No?
Yeah, but what? Yeah, any gun can be a 2-2.
Oh, I just
What
thought
was
it was a rifle.
Okay.
Well, what's the I thought that's what it was called, a 2-2.
No, the bullet is a 2-2. The rifle's not a 2-2.
It was a rifle, shooting 2-2 bullets. Why is it called 2-2s?
Because it's the caliber of the bullet. It's a .22.
I was shooting targets. Just in case you wanted to know, I wasn't shooting anything else. But I have shot things.
Well, if you're shooting anything with a 2-2, it's targets.
And I did all right, actually.
Did you?
I did, yeah. I'm a good shot.
Did you get a good MPI?
I certainly did.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. Miles per minute, miles per inch, MPI, miles per inch. No?
No.
Minute pecking indicator.
No.
What is it?
Mean point of impact.
Oh yes, I did know this.
Did you?
Did I get? Yes, I don't know. I got it in the middle.
Did you? Amazing. Right, should we move on?
Yeah, and do you know why? Because it veers off. So I had to go there.
You had to aim off.
Yeah.
Who told you to do that?
The person that was taking us to the 2-2 range.
Well, distance were you firing to have like aim off with a 2-2 rifle?
It was from here. I have no. I can't remember. Right, listen. I was 16.
Okay.
That was. I don't think I was 16. I think I was probably 15.
10 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah.
10 years is a long time.
Okay, here we go.
Why shouldn't I have been going off to one side then?
Well, if you're aiming off, it's a skill.
Yes. And I got it in the bullet. I got it in the hole.
Amazing. So did you aim off like 1 knuckle, 2 knuckles?
Oh, for fuck's sake, I have no idea. All I did was just he just told me to do it and I did it. And that was it.
Okay. Good.
Yes, I thought so.
Anyway.
I did want to do it again.
Did you?
Yeah, I'd go to a range again.
Well, when we go back to America, we'll go to a high velocity range. Shoot some mega guns like M60s and AK-47s and AR-15s.
Not really interested in
Why
that.
not?
No.
I am. Just so an FYI, okay?
Go shopping.
Anyway, I was supposed to do that last year.
Oh yes, I know, but somebody got a little high.
Yes, and that's Tiffany's fault.
I'll just say, you were the one was like, yeah, let me have some of that. Oh yeah, let me try some of that. Oh, what's that? Another sweet? And it was Tiffany's mum that said, you've already had 3. And then the next thing you were like, crash and burn.
I can feel my hands.
No, 5 hours later you woke up and you were like, oh my god, my hands are dead. No, what did you say? I've lost my hands or something.
Felt amazing.
Did it? I hate anything. I
felt groggy as hell afterwards.
I hate anything like that. I just hate that sensation with a passion.
I just remember waking up on the sofa and Brandon was sat there and he said, "Well, we're not going shooting then."
I really thought you could as well.
What's that?
Well, he was being very responsible, but I thought you would have been able to go.
What, high?
No, obviously not, because you really were high, but I didn't connect it then.
I couldn't stand up.
It's a real shame. It's a real shame.
I was gutted.
Yeah.
I actually only went to San Francisco to shoot guns, really, and see Alcatraz, so I ticked one box.
Well, you know, you got to go in the prison.
The prison was great, yeah. That was a great thing. It was good.
Good.
Anyway, back to the book.
Back to the book.
Also, the gun has a small travelling trigger, meaning that the nano said it takes you to operate a trigger on a Western pistol. She would have already had 2 rounds on the way. We sort of discussed that. And you might like to call it a hair trigger.
Ah.
There was some sniggering. You mean pull the trigger? Renton felt smug trying to fit in. You mean pull the trigger? Renton felt smug trying to fit in.
You might. It's a bit inappropriate to be laughing and joking when they're surrounded by blood and dead bodies.
Yeah, I guess, but it's, you know, it's the humour, isn't it? It's a dark humour. We have that in medicine, in theatres. Well, it's how you cope with it. Okay. The creak of the body armour and the scraping of boots on the floor again, eyes boring into him. The only thing you pull, Sunshine, is your dick or a bird. He looked him up and down. Or a dude. He returned to the scene on the screen. You operate a trigger, the commander said. Heads in the group were shaking. Renton decided to keep his mouth shut. These guns are rare, not really seen them this side of the Great Wall, the commander added. One of the guys on the seat watching the screen. She's got skills, boss. With his finger he was tracing the empties ejecting out the side of the rifle. She's triple tapped her way in, and then gone on to auto 3-round bursts. What do you mean skills, Renton asked. The watch commander raised his eyebrows. To have this level of control in a close quarter combat environment, she's special forces or intelligence of the Asian variety. Anyone else would just stand and spray the room. The gunner coming out the corridor with the MP5 would have slotted the bitch. She was on point with her skills. Watch how she takes him down. Kill Bill style or what?
I haven't seen Kill Bill.
They watched the armed officer come out of the cell corridor about to fire, and the assailant was vaulting the walls like Bruce Lee and taking him down. When she pumped the second round into his head, whoa, savage bitch. Why Asian? Renton asked, feeling decidedly out of his depth. Russians or Americans wouldn't do this. They would just use a fuck-off bomb or poison, the commander said. Or gas, another voice piped up. Either Chinese or Korean. She's got the bod of a Korean. Hot, said another voice. What is she doing at this cell? Said the voice in the group. Fuck, Renton exclaimed. The group looked round. He's my guy. I totally forgot he was in there. He's in protective custody. Whoa, said one voice. He's just bunged in a white phos grenade. Blimey, she's waiting for it to finish fizzing. Renton left the room and ran around the counter, avoiding Daniel's slumped body. He went into the cell corridor. Cell 1 was open. The charred remains of Squibb were lying on the floor. His knees were drawn up to his chest, his hands reaching out to the sky with his fingers gnarled and grabbing at nothing. His face burnt off, his teeth showing, eyes ruptured under the intense heat. Still smoking, his partially charred guts spilling out, the only liquid left in his body onto the floor. The green chime was adding to the offensive smell in the room. An armed officer walked in with a fire extinguisher, squirted foam at the charred remains. It sizzled. Friend of yours? He asked. He didn't wait for the answer, he just turned and left.
Oh.
I can actually see that happening.
Oh, I see. I thought Renton just turned and left.
No, it was the guy. He just literally walked in, squirted in with a bit of foam and walked out. The fire extinguisher. I can see that happening. Fuck, stamping his feet.
Like a child.
I don't know why he's stamping his feet. Renton went back.
I can imagine you standing there and stamping your feet and seeing if you do it. But you have done that.
What, stamped my feet?
You do, oh, yeah.
What, in anger?
Yeah,
do I?
Yeah, you have stamped your feet.
Really?
Yeah, when you've been frustrated, like, but I want to. Or you're like, yeah, you have so stamped your foot.
I just putting my foot down or stamping my feet like a child, like, what the hell?
Yeah, you've done that too.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I need dates.
You have. You don't put your foot down. That's a verbal thing. If you would, you wouldn't put your foot down.
No, it's like, right.
You've done that with the dogs all the time.
I do with the dogs all the time.
And then they just go, what?
Bella just wags the tail. It's all sorted then.
Big eyes.
Big eyes.
Big eyes.
Ears down.
But yeah, you have stamped your foot. You definitely. I definitely say. Oh, have I not done it then? I mean, obviously that saying comes from somewhere.
I think that's like, right, put my foot down.
God.
Renton went back to Alex after he stamped his feet and filled her in. Ricky was in a better state than when Renton had left him 20 minutes earlier. Same girl from the hospital, Alex asked. Yeah, it looks that way. Renton sat next to Ricky. The three of them were on the workbench looking at the carnage in front of them. Renton nodded to the custody room. There's a video of a woman entering the suite and slaughtering everyone in here. She was alone. The guys in the room reckon she's either Chinese or Korean, with a set of skills, possibly even intelligence. Really? Chinese national or even Korean? Which I'm assuming would be North, would create an international incident, Alex said. There was a pause. This has Ing's name all over it. I want this cunt in my nick at the earliest opportunity, Alex said.
She would never use that language.
I work with women that use that language all the time in medicine. Straight up.
I don't think so. I use it, I don't mind. I have used it.
When have you used it?
I've written it.
Really?
Yes. Don't mind
Well,
the
who were
word.
you calling the word? Was you calling somebody in?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you do tell.
No.
I need names.
I was after. It wasn't just me. It was also somebody else that we were having a conversation with. They started it.
Yeah. But she would say that. Telling you now. Alex, I was trying to call you. They must have jammed the radio and mobile frequency, Ricky said, staring into the abyss of the room. What about? She said. This patient of Squib. The notes you sent me. Yeah, what about them? Alex said. Alex was dialing into her phone. Hold on, matey. Alex got up. Cuffy, have you heard the news?
What about the patient? I can't remember that.
We get to that. So he was looking at the patient notes. Ricky was looking at all of the patient notes.
Yes, but I can't remember. Did we know what was wrong with it? Did we?
Well, I can't remember. I can't remember. But anyway, Ricky could hear Cuffy on the other end. Okay, I will get her out to the knitting somewhere else other than the police station. She'll be a target. Probably use one of the barracks with the airborne. Agreed. Okay, yeah, thanks, Cuffy. Speak in the next couple of hours. Alex went and sat next to Ricky. You were saying about the note Squib gave us. Ricky scratched his head. He couldn't remember what had happened to his tablet. He scanned his mental databanks. Yeah, when you guys were in Dorset at Baldwin's Haulage, their last job was at a farm in a place called King Stag, owned by Kevin Storders. Alex looked at the floor. Yeah, Dorset Pod had been round, she said. They spoke to the wife, a lady called Carmen, I believe, Renton said. The patient notes are for the guy that died on Broc's operating table. He was called a Kevin Saunders, ex-military Coldstream Guards. Alex stopped and turned to look at Ricky. Really? You don't say. I spoke to the regimental sergeant major of the 1st Battalion of Coldstream Guards. He remembers Mr. Saunders. Joined the Coldstream Guards to get away from the family. Father was a bully, all the usual stuff we all joined the army for. No such thing as coincidences, right? Alex slumped on the bench, leaned forward and put her head in her hands. I went on the DVLA website, plumbed in Saunders' name and address. Give me your phone, Alex, Ricky said. Alex, still with one hand on her face, reached into her jeans pocket and pulled out her phone. Ricky punched in the passcode. Alex, not surprised that he knew it, pulled up her an email from Ricky, and clicked it. He opened the attachment titled Photo. The DVLA license came up. Kevin Saunders, Saunders Farm, King Stag, Dorset. The photo matched the e-fit of Broc. Alex stared at the image. Look at the date of the license was issued, Sarge, Ricky said. Alex looked. The license had been issued 9 years earlier. Alex did the math. 9 fucking years. Renton leaned and looked at Alex. He's been operating for 9 years. There's something else, Sarge, Ricky said. What? I ran facials on Broc's image from the photos we have. I struggled to find him, to be honest, and then it got me thinking about the 2 diplomatic jets leaving Docklands Airport the other day. So I ran facials on everything, and I got one here. He grabbed the phone again and then selected another image. The wing mirror of the BMW that Broc had travelled in was one solitary image. Broc was looking over his shoulder, heading to the plane. He got on...
So the CCTV caught a ring mirror reflection
of Broc.
Well, that's fortuitous.
I know. I wrote the book.
So hold on, because obviously we're playing this once a week, so I can't remember.
So he.
Yeah, but I all of this stuff is all linking together.
What can't you remember?
So if I was reading a book, I'd read it in maybe a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
So Alex's information about King Stag and all of that stuff. I can't remember how it links. I do remember that Kevin Saunders and operating, and he took his identity. But why are they only finding that out now? And what?
Because the thoughts are coming together, aren't they?
Okay, you carry on. I know what I'm trying to say.
He got on the first aircraft, Sarge, and I'm guessing Ing got on the second. But we know that Ing is back in the country because facials got him in Chinatown this morning. Alex was thinking fast. Where did they go? Well, that is the issue. Once they left UK airspace, we can't track them. Diplomatic, it's illegal, Ricky said. Alex canted her head at him and smiled. You really have a bad opinion, don't you, Ricky said. But you found a way, right? Of course I did. He sat back for a bit of a gloat. I painted the aircraft digitally and ran it through NATO radar tracking facility at Hendon, Italy, Spain. The triangulation of the aircraft took them to Perpignan Airport, Ricky said. Perpignan, Alex thought. That's the south of France, right? Yeah, Ricky said. South of France is a big area, Renton said. Alex smiled. She knew that wasn't it. Well, I did a bit of digging. There's a villa in a small fishing village called Coulier that was owned by the Triads. See, I think it'd be quite odd because we've been to Coulier, haven't we? If there's any Chinese in Coulier, I think that was quite odd.
They'd be odd. They'd be noticed.
They would be very noticed. But anyway.
Yes. I think if there's any non-French, Spanish-y people, it'll be noticed.
It was a property business that was liquidated 10 or so years ago. The organisation sold the business on. Looks like it had been sold on multiple times. Who owns it now? Alex asked. Well, the villa nearest the airport is in Coulier, but that's owned by a Frenchman who lives in Carcassonne. Dead end then, Renton said. Oh, for fuck's sake, Ricky, it's like pulling teeth, Alex said. Ricky laughed. You got me. A totes dead end, Renton. The man in question is dead, died about 20 years ago. The purchase was a front. I think Ing didn't get rid of any of the properties, maybe some, but not all. He still owns it. The money that property requires comes from Hong Kong. Now call me stick in the mud, he paused. No racial slurs, please. But the average Frenchman who died 20 years ago doesn't flow money from Hong Kong to fund the upkeep of a property that requires an awful lot of money. Hook, line and fucking sinker, Ricky said.
What do you mean racial slurs?
Well, he's black. And he said...
now call me stick in the mud.
Yeah. And he's black.
Stick in the mud. What's that got to do in black?
It's banter, isn't it?
Stick in the mud.
Well, no, forget it. I know what it means.
Okay.
And it's, you know...
Is it bad?
Well, I couldn't say it. But
is it a racial slur then?
No, but no, it's like Jenwin, our daughter-in-law. She's...
It's so funny to have a daughter-in-law.
She's in trouble for using the N-word.
I know. She's not. She's in trouble with us.
She works with quite a lot of black people who communicate between themselves using the N-word, which is absolutely fine. However,
she's not from England, or she's from the Philippines.
She's from Philippines and very innocent.
Yeah,
she's not. She's Asian.
That's it.
Yes.
B12 deficiency, just saying.
But anyway, she referred to one of her work colleagues that was black as the N-word. And that's not...
Why are we saying this?
Well, because Ricky can say this. Because he's a black man.
So can I not say stick in the mud? You're a stick in the mud.
No, you're missing my point. Like,
I am missing your point.
He just made a joke out of a comment. That's all.
Okay.
So it's irrelevant.
You see how painful it is to watch a program with me?
So we can be assumed. So we can maybe assume that Broc is holed up in Ing's villa. Alex said. She pondered for a moment. Now it's time to ring that Interpol guy you keep reminding me about, Simon Broadstone. Yeah, Alex said. The door to the custody suite opened and Frank walked in. What a freaking fuck has happened to my fucking Nick? Frank screamed. Alex looked up at Frank, exhaustion written all over her face. Right, you three out. Get in my car. We're grabbing a Ruby Murray and a debrief at my house. Curry.
I knew that.
They all stood. Seemed to be the best thing to happen that day, Alex thought. Can I grab a Chinese? Can't stand curries, Renton's. There's always one in there.
I would. Yeah, no, I'd have a curry.
Frank, Alex, Ricky surveyed the room and then looked at Renton.
Oh, yeah, why would you want a Chinese?
He looked at the three of them. Alright, fish and chips will do.
That's actually quite clear.
Wasn't it?
It was very good, yeah.
Okay, the chippy's on the same street as the engine. Let's go. They filed out. Alex bringing up the rear. I want Ing in custody by the end of the night, boss. Ricky, while we're at Frank's house on the computer, you find him when we've eaten. We go get the scrote and take a run at him. Done. Chapter 34 is done.
Right, okay, so a couple of things I need to just sort out. Your
grammar?
No. No. Nothing about your book. I need to listen to the book again.
Hmm?
Well, it's been such a long time.
What do you need to know? I'll tell you. Tell me.
Can you remember?
I'll try.
When Broc took Kevin Saunders, so the medical records bit.
Yep.
And he's been going for 9 years. So how do they know that Broc is actually the killer?
Well,
they say he's been at it for 9 years, but how do they know he's the killer? That he's Kevin Saunders?
Because his medical records of Kevin Saunders, who died, his
Yeah.
address is King Stag.
Yeah, but how did they know? They went to King Stag and there was nothing there.
But why?
They're not chasing Broc right now.
Well, they are. They are chasing Broc. The medical records said that Kevin Saunders lived in King Stag. Well, the King Stag address came up. Now, Alex says, her mantra is there's no such thing as coincidences. So why is that address came up? So Ricky uses her methodology.
Why did it come up? Okay. Oh, because they were picking up the stuff from there.
Yeah. So the haulage yard said that's how they go to that address at King Stag to take stuff to London. So that's how the address came up. Okay. So Ricky just retro searched back, and then through DVLA realised that actually Kevin Saunders has got Dale Broc's photo on his driving licence that was issued 9 years ago. So he's been living at the house for 9 years.
I understand. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
The sooner I have a B12 jab, the better.
That's it.
How many more chapters have we got?
I think there's four chapters.
4.
39 is the last chapter. Gosh, because chapter 40 I've not written. Because I've left the book as a bit of a knife edge, and I will write it at some point. It's where we meet Bromelo.
Okay.
And he plays quite a big part in the second book.
Hypnos.
In Hypnos, yeah.
So is Hypnos as gruesome?
No. But apparently you said it wasn't gruesome, this book.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I don't know if that's a reflection on me.
I don't think it's gruesome. People said it's disturbing. It's like I can't see it. But then I'm completely desensitized to the narrative now.
And also,
I've read this book about 20 times.
Also, because we're not reading it one after the other, I think that makes a big difference.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
It's every week.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, it's great. I think it's really good.
Mm.
Okay. All right. Well, on to next week then.
Yeah, next week. So just a quick chat about the Criminal Club.
Yeah.
It's up and running. So if you want true crime and fiction melded together, then take a look. I'll put the link in the show notes. Check us out. Check my page out on the website. It costs £1.99 a month, and you get a short story, a fictional story, a YouTube video, and lots and lots of other extras contained within that membership. And it's only for just £1.99 a month.
I know, it's ridiculous, and it just focuses and highlights on one particular serial killer
Per month.
But you get a fictional coffee break read,
yeah.
And you get the true crime background on it, and also you'll get access to the podcast. We do mini-sodes on each of those criminals.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to watch us sort of we talk about the psychology of it really more than anything else. So it's interesting. It's worth it.
It's definitely worth it.
Definitely worth it.
Only £1.99.
I mean, seriously, you can even buy a book for £1.99, and you get more than a book.
You get more than a book.
Yeah, you get the audio, video, and
So if you're a fan of true crime, if you're a fan of serial killers, the story of serial killers, not necessarily a fan of serial killers, but if you like all of that true crime stuff relating to serial killers, then this is right up your alley.
Yeah. Right
up your alley.
Yeah.
So go check it out.
And also your first subscription, you actually get an extra.
Get a free book.
Yeah, you get a free book.
Chunk, my book Chunk.
Yeah, so you'll get that for free. So you'll get first 2 months straight away, and then every month after that. Okay, we'll say goodbye.
All right.
Don't forget, don't judge a book by its cover.
And stay frosty.
Bye, guys.
Bye.